Here I am, in the place to be. Mr. K&B, you can't fuck with me. Extra sexy, extraordinary. Palms are hairy, your mama pop.
What up, y'all? K&B, the Sexy Ninja, in the place to be for C Plus Studios, and welcome to the Sexy Ninjacast. I just got done with the gym. Holy crap. We did full body, top to bottom, because I had to miss out on Saturday. I had to pick up my uncle at 2 a.m., and that wasn't too bad. But my kid, so I'm going to set the picture. My brother asked me, yo, can you pick up our uncle, DJ Reflection, at this bar called Yucca that was once the Green Room here in Flagstaff. And I was like, yeah, sure, because my brother got sick, And I was like, yeah, sure, I can pick him up. And I'm not a person that stays up late. 100%, man. I don't stay up late. I get home about 10:30. Then about 11, I'm winding down. And usually by 12, I'm out. Usually. This is my new schedule with nighttime and stuff like that. So I was like, yeah, I could do this. So I was like, all right. And I got home, got changed, got in my pajamas. And it's like, all right, I put my Crocs on. And I was like, yeah, well, I was like, I'm going to take a nap. I'm going to take a nap before I have to go pick up my uncle. So I go lay down, and the wife told me beforehand, she's like, hey, Kathy said her tummy wasn't feeling too good, blah, blah. I gave her some medicine for her tummy, this and that. I said, okay. So I was like, all right. And I went and laid down after checking on her, make sure she didn't have a fever. She didn't. And I laid down, and then as soon as I hit that sweet spot in the bed, I was like, all right. It was about around 12 o'clock-ish, and I'm like, oh yeah. You're about to hit that and I just heard, Daddy, and I was like, oh, huh? I was like, what's wrong, baby? She goes, my tummy. I was like, I know, baby. Mommy told me your tummy hurts. And all of a sudden, I just hear, and I'm like, oh my God. And then the wife runs in. I jump up, and poor thing, all over her bed, and on her stuffies and this and that. And then we had, it was just a bad, this was out of a fucking comedy. And I pick her up, we put her in the tub and, change her out, this and that, get her, pull everything off, because we have it's kind of like a bunk bed that's over our bed, and she's just there, and it's just a bad scene. She's crying, and I'm like, baby, don't cry, your tummy hurts, blah, 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 it's just bad. So we're fixing everything, we're rearranging everything around, we get all the blankets and stuff, and I was like, well, I'm up, might as well, go take this to the laundry. We had the laundromat that's just half a mile from our place. I went and did the laundry and everything like that, and I was just I was like, you know what? Then I picked up my uncle, told him what happened. He's like, oh man. I was like, no, it sucks, but it was definitely one of those things where it was just a moment to be in. And we got done with the laundry about 3. Then I had to unwind all over again, and I sat there and I was like, okay, cool, let me just. And then I probably went to bed about 4-ish, maybe 4:30. Woke up at 7. I was supposed to go to the gym at 5:30 with Colin, but I already gave him a heads up. And then I woke up, and I fell back asleep. Woke up, fell back asleep, and about 9 I woke up, really woke up, and I was like, all right. And I just felt super hungover. Didn't even felt like I went drinking all night. I went woo baby, let's party. No K&B, no K&B. So. But I got back on track today, got back to the gym. We did a full body workout and everything like that. And we're laughing and joking and stuff like that. And that's the best part about this. As much as I love lifting weights and stuff, I love just hanging out and just laughing and making jokes and picking on each other and shit like that. That's what makes the experience of the gym fun. And I'm glad I got somebody to do it with, because when I used to go by myself, you gotta be all serious, and everyone's just so serious, and they're running on treadmills, and they're all so serious face and whatnot, and I'm like, I gotta be serious too, man. I'm a level 17 platypus, son. Level 17 platypus up in this bitch. And then because I used to work out at Anytime Fitness here, and then I would go do this and that, but the fact that I have somebody going with me it makes it better, because one, I like to talk. Me and Colin have a good conversation, and we'll joke and we'll laugh and stuff like that. And I think that was more motivating and being like, okay, so it's time to spend with my buddy, but we're lifting weights, man. Gains, bruh. Steaks and weights, baby. Them gains. And it was just one of those things where I do enjoy it, and I'm still enjoying it. I'm sitting here. I got my Lenny and Larry's vegan protein plant-based cookie, macadamian up in this bitch because I love macadamian cookies. And speaking of vegan, so there's this place called Java Juice. It's over by Bookman's. Great vegan place, man. Great burgers, great sandwiches, great snacks and ice. Everything's vegan in this place called Java Juice. If you're up here in Flagstaff, Arizona, come. I think I've done a video on their burgers and everything like that. It's a little pricey, but it's worth the price in my opinion. Worth the price 100%. So it's called Java Juice. It's by Sprouts. And it's in the middle of Sprouts and Bookman's up on Milton and everything like that. Like, if you come up to town, come to the Java Juice, be like, yo, KMB the sexy ninja sent me. And then they're going to look at you and be like, who? What a great place. I went there because I was like, I love vegan food. Personally, it's so tasty. And I need to get back on that track, man, because I feel like I have a shitty diet, but I'm slowly getting over that hump of like taking out things, this and that, and I'm just like, why don't I just go back to being vegan, man? I like vegan food. I love that stuff. I love vegetables and shit like that. So, but it's the mindset of like, oh man, I love me a good chili cheese Fritos. Give me some chili cheese Fritos, man. Well, give me that tasty quarter-pound McDonald's burger because I got it for free on the app, motherfucker. Yeah, temptations, and I'm worse at it. I'm really bad at it. So, what was I saying? Oh, I went to this Java Juice. I went to this the Java Juice and everything. I walked in. I was so excited because they have these chicken wings, like drumsticks or whatever, and they have a barbecue sauce and teriyaki sauce and hot sauce. Like, it's so good, made out of cauliflower. Oh my gosh, they're just amazing, and they look like actual drumsticks. They got this little like weird, I don't know, bone or not, like in through, and then it's just this big, just chunky whatever of cauliflower and whatnot, and it's so good, and it rips apart like you're eating an actual drumstick. It's delicious. And I was like so excited. I was jacked up because I took some stuff to Bookman's, got some credit there. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to treat myself, girl. Treat yourself. You go treat yourself, KMB. I walk in. I'm like, hey, I would like the drumsticks with the teriyaki sauce and a little bit of the vegan ranch on the side. And they're like, yo, no. I'm like, oh, what? They were out. I was so pissed. I wasn't pissed at them. They said the person that distributes where they got it from and everything like that stopped making them, but they're trying to find different options. I was like, yo, once you get them in, once you get a new option in, I'm here, man. I've been craving them bad boys, and I found another option, and Walmart used to carry them, but they don't carry them anymore. I wonder if they weren't vegan at all. Maybe they were like, yo, these are plant-based, wink, wink, but I've had them before, and they are cauliflower-based and everything like that, and the ingredients looked okay. And I used to bring them over, like, when we watched wrestling pay-per-views and stuff like that, when they were on Sunday and not Saturday, because Sunday is just too much. It's just too much. But they used to sell them at Walmart. But then I found some other options. They're not so great, but they're not as good as those Java Juice drumsticks, man. Not as good. Not as good. But how's everyone today? How you doing on a beautiful Sunday? Chilling with KMB the Sexy Ninja. Are you working out? Are you not working out? And is it fucking dope that Jimbo's back? Jimbo dropped 2 podcasts in 1 week. I love that dude. And hearing his struggles of everything he was going through mentally, man, it definitely was something. It's inspiring to know that it's okay to have those mental struggles and know that it's okay that there's a tomorrow. And I know he credited like me and Big Daddy for motivating and stuff like that, but it's I think it's more than that. I think it comes from the core, and it was Jimbo, man. Jimbo, you did it, brother. We might have motivated you, to jump out of your shell and do these 2 podcasts, but I feel like he motivated himself. Like, yes, we could have been like an inspiration of sorts, but I feel like deep down the credit is where it needs to be, and that's Jimbo, baby. And he sends the podcast, and I edit it up and put it out, and I've been having fun with the names. With the first one, Live Long and Jimbo. I was like, how many times can I use his name? And the last one was like, Jimbo Strikes Rant. Come on, man. That's fucking clever. I love making up names for our podcast and stuff like that. That is one of my favorite things to do, is how I can be creative and create the creative juices and stuff like that. Like, I feel like a good name to a good podcast is definitely like, ooh, I want to get that. Like, if you look at the older social events, they had some crazy ass names because we're like, yeah, that's the conversation. What was the last episode of the social event? Episode blah, blah, blah. And that was from the mind of Big Daddy. And he was like, I just typed up something just because we use StreamYard because, he's down the hill and everything like that. So we use StreamYard to contact and podcast with each other. But we went into the chat, and you have to type a title into what the thing is. So I got in there, and I just saw the social event episode blah, blah, blah. Fucking fell in love with it. I was like, that's it. That's the episode, baby. Episode blah, blah, blah. And so, but Jimbo, man, much love, much respect, man. To anybody and everybody out there going through something mentally, man, it's okay. Find somebody to talk to, man. If you can't find family, that ain't family, bro. If they're not going to talk to you and talk you down and shit like that, bro, you gotta do it. And I gotta say, when I picked up my uncle this week, man, it was really good connecting with my uncle. Like, me and my uncle really, we used to be super fucking close when we were younger, man. Me and him, like, he got me into hip hop and this and that. He's the core of who I am today, man. 100%. DJ Reflection, check him out. Go to his Instagram, check out his YouTube channel, man. He cuts it up on the 1s and 2s, and he's got a beautiful kid and beautiful wife and everything, man. He's living it up to the fullest. And I haven't seen him in so long, and I got to pick him up. And I got there at 2 a.m. He's like, yo, give me 10 minutes. And he brought all his gear. Then I got a bunch of crap in the back that we're trying to donate. And, he makes a joke. He's like, what's this? And threw the bag. He's like, a bunch of dildos. And I laughed. I was like, fuck you. That reconnection we had. And then he got in the car, and we're sitting there, and, it was really good. It was just a really good connection, man. Just because me and him, like I said, we don't hang out because he's off in Phoenix and we're all here in Flagstaff. I know that's no excuse. But seeing him, talking to him, catching up on things, life, and my kid, his kid, it was dope, man. And we have a little bit of a group chat with me, my brother, and him. And like the next day, I remember we text each other, and I've been texting him a little bit more. And I was like, "Yo, man, that new Mount Westmore album by Ice Cube, Snoop Dogg, Too Short, and E40." Then to show it up a little bit more, he sends me another album. And I was like, oh shit, and that's what he used to do when I was younger, man. Like, he introduced me to Atmosphere, Tribe Called Quest. Like, he introduced me to some really great hip hop albums when I was younger. And it brought back all these memories of music and stuff like that, and stuff that I got in trouble for because he would burn the CDs for me and everything like that. And then he would give me the album, and not write what's on the album because my mom would be like, yo, no cussing, don't listen to that Eminem, Slim Shady. It's very, I remember one year, this was like a huge fucking Christmas gift. Christmas is around the corner. This was a huge Christmas gift, and I was so excited because it was a box, and my uncle's a shoe nut. He collects Nikes and Jordans and everything, and he's a shoe nut. And so one year I grabbed this box, and it's heavy as fuck, and I grabbed the box and I open it up. It's a Nike shoe box. I'm like, oh, when I open it, it's those slim cases, the CDs and everything like that. Man, he burnt me like Jay-Z's The Blueprint. Like, he burnt me all these albums because burning CDs were like, back in my day, when you burned a CD, you're like, ooh, naughty, we're breaking the law. But he went out of his way to burn me these albums, like Reasonable Doubt, Jay-Z, a bunch of other stuff, Eminem, Atmosphere. Like, he burnt me all these albums so I can listen to them. And I had them for so long to the point to where, where the top of the CD, it kind of chips off, and you kind of see that rainbow color on the back and everything like that. Yeah. But I used to rock those albums to the core, man. In my skip playable CD player because I wasn't, when my mom bought it, my mom went for the lowest price, the best price she could pay because we were poor, and mine was that one where you had to hold it in your hand, and anything, if you fart, if you fucking giggle or whatever, you barely move that motherfucker, and it's like, so that was that, and and like I said, dude, it was just great to reconnect and all this stuff. And it's one of those things where, I look at it as like when we went back to Shiprock for Thanksgiving and stuff, I like going home. I like getting there and being like, you can breathe. You could just feel it in the air, and everything that's been going on with my job and everything like that. All, I would say stress, but it's not really stress. It's just stress of like making it stress. If that makes sense, if you're like, it's a check, you collect the check, you move on. That was my mind state for a little bit, but then I also get in the mind state of like, I need to reevaluate what I'm doing here, because in any job, in every job, the 9 to 5, whatever you're working, that shit gets old, especially when you've been working at a certain job for so long. No matter what job it is, going in, doing the same thing, saying hi to the same people, maybe a few rotation of those people, because I've been at my job for a very long time, and like it gets to the point to where even though you move around, you see the same thing every single day. And I can feel that with every person on this planet who's like that. Any person that gets up and it's the same thing every single day. It's like getting caught in Groundhog's Day, and it gets kind of stressful, but this is why I try to push myself to be more creative and make content and this and that, just because there has to be something breaking out, and I've been working really hard on a movie script. I have a lot of scripts I've been working on, but this one, I feel like it can be within budget of what it can be and what it can, what I want to film it at. I'm not gonna say the name just yet because it's still in the process, in the works, that I'm almost done. So that anybody, it's gonna be okay, man. And that's what I'm telling you. It's gonna be okay, no matter what. No matter how fucked up a situation is, no matter how stressful a situation is, no matter what. It's going to be okay. Just take a step back, breathe a little bit, reevaluate the play, and move forward, man. And to anybody out there who's feeling like this and feeling like the way I am, just know that there's people out there who feel like that. And I got you, man. It's nothing but love and respect, 100%, hands down, 100% respect. And everyone that's helped me, and I'm going to help you. Everyone needs to just help each other. We need to stop this division of bullshit, we need to come together. And I think that in this country, that's far off from where we're at, and anywhere and everywhere. I'm not just talking politics. I'm talking everything. We need more of a community inside the community of the community. That's all I'm saying, bro. That's all I'm saying. You can, and then you call me whatever name, like, oh, blue woke boy, whatever, man. I'm just saying love, not love. Just once in a while, check on your neighbor. Like, yo, what's up? How you doing? It doesn't even, I love saying hi to people. I love talking to people. I love it. When we were in Farmington, during Thanksgiving weekend, my wife laughs at me because I have no problem talking to anybody. Like, I saw this Hulk Hogan shirt, and we were like in a JCPenney at a mall, and I saw it. I was like, yo, Hulk Hogan, brother, waffle, waffle, waffle. And the lady behind me laughed, and I was like, oh, hey. And then we started talking. We were talking about malls and stuff, and how certain malls are very lame, and she's from California, and she goes, that's a mall? You want to talk about a mall? Malls are up in Cali. You can be in there for hours and hours, baby. You can go over there, and all the malls are big over there. I was like, man, one day, because I'm standing in this, our mall is shitty in Flagstaff. No offense to anybody in Flagstaff, Arizona, working at the mall. Our mall is, you can sprint that bitch in like 5 minutes. There's still a bunch of cool places like Hot Topic, Barnes and Noble I like to go to because I like to get my books and stuff like that, and the GameStop. There's really nothing else in the mall. I remember going to a mall, and I don't know if anybody had this, but when I was a kid, there was a store called Buckle. And that's where the cool clothes were. That's where the rich kids got their clothes, man. And I remember this is right around the time when Eminem had his Shady Wear or whatever, Shady Wear, Shady Limited or whatever. And I remember there was like that's what I wanted, but it was like there was a pants and shirt. The shirt was like $45, $50, $60 or something like that, and the pants were $100. My mom's friend at the time, I think, if I remember, I can't remember who, but they took me and they bought me this pair of Shady Limited pants that I wore until they fell off. And I don't like pants, but these were probably the greatest pants I've ever had of pants. And just because they were so comfy and whatnot, but I wore them down. And I had to get rid of them. And the Shady shirt, I wore every once in a while. But the pants, man, that was the last pair of pants that I fell in love with because I don't like pants. I love shorts. I love rocking shorts, man. I've even asked my boss a bunch of times, like, yo, can I rock shorts? And I'll just stand behind things just so you can see from like my waist on up. You know, you don't have to see behind. If the bosses come in, I'll go behind something and be like, hey, how you doing? You know, while I'm rocking my shorts and my balls are getting nice and breezy and it's not getting too hot and congested down there, you know? We don't want sticky balls, man. We don't want sticky, stinky balls. So, or whatever else is down there, whatever you prefer, whatever, okay? I'm just telling you, I like shorts. And I'm telling you the long-winded way I like shorts. What was I going for here? I'm trying to think. I was like, did I have a plan? Did I have a plan? No, I did not. Oh, the mall. Yeah, so the Buckle. The Buckle was the place, man, where everyone got their clothes, FUBU, Boofu, whatever, man. And I remember walking in the mall the other day with my kid, and I was like, you know, I was walking through the store, and I'm just like, man, I remember when, like, I was like, man, I want the coolest shoes you got, you know. Now I'm like, my mom usually for Christmas, she buys me shoes. Like I got these New Balance that she bought me for last year for Christmas, you know, they're workout shoes. And I love these things, man. Like what's funny is I'm more materialistic in the sense of my comic books and my action figures and stuff, and not so much my clothes. Like, you know, if I'm going to buy a shirt, I'll buy it from an artist or anything like that. Like I'm rocking my Chapter 17 hoodie that I got, and I really love this hoodie because it's snuggling me. Like Ouija Mac is actually like holding me and caressing me and making sure that I'm nice and toasty and whatnot. But now it's all stinky and sweaty because I wore it at the gym, and it's okay. I'll probably wear it a couple more times until it really stinks, and then Ouija won't hold me anymore. If you don't know who Ouija Mac is, you should check out Ouija Mac. He got some slaps. I was listening to that Dirtbag album. Ooh, I love that album. Yeah, but materialism and, you know, I'd rather go to the Sabers or Goodwill, you know, and find me a new Star Wars shirt I don't need, you know, like the 10th, 15th Star Wars shirt. Like I actually went to Sabers after I went to my therapist appointment. I was going through and I always find a cool Star Wars shirt. And I'm like, do I really need it? Yeah, I probably need the Star Wars shirt. You know, it's probably like my 500th Star Wars shirt that I need, and I only wear the one Star Wars shirt. I don't know if you ever go back and watch our TikToks or videos and stuff like that. I bet you 9 out of 10 times I most likely will be wearing, it's a black Star Wars shirt with the white lettering of Star Wars. It's thin as fuck. Like if I wear it out, my wife gets embarrassed because you can see through it. You can see my boobies and stuff like that. My nipples poke out, or you can see my white beater underneath. But you know, I'm like, hey, shake what you got. Shake what your mama gave you, you know? So I just, yeah, it's just weird. I don't see the point of, like, it's funny, like getting to the point now of like, I don't care what I wear. You know, I used to though. I remember being in school and like Iversons. Like I remember when I got Iversons, I was like, yeah, I'm a cool man. Look at that. Look at them Iversons, man. Nice, clean. You know, you have to walk everywhere. You have to make sure that you didn't get them all scuffed and this and that. If you got them scuffed, it's the end of the world. You're like, oh, my God. Oh, they scuffed my shoes. And now I'm like, I'll step in the fucking dog poop or step in a pile of mud just to pick up my daughter and make sure she doesn't step in that shit. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, it's just weird when you get to that place, you know, of growing up in your mind. You know, I'm not a full developed grown-up yet, because I still have a lot of things I'm working on, and that's what I was talking to my therapist about. I was telling her, like, you know, I'm trying to learn. She gave me this thing, it's not the stalker, I'm not being a stalker, the jackal versus the giraffe. And it's this thing where I take the the jackal route of, because I can go from 1 to 100 really quick. That's why I can relate to Jimbo about his anger. I get that, man. I can get that way too, like getting really pissed off. I don't probably get as pissed off as much as he does, but I know that feeling of going from 1 to 100, and I can relate to that 100%. And that's the jackal route of like, it's a quick step to doing this, and you automatically like don't want to take the blame for anything. You don't want to be sympathetic in any way. You're right, I'm right, you're wrong. That's it. That's all. Fuck off. That, and going the giraffe route, it's a little bit longer path of training your brain to go from, okay, well, ask questions, do this, be a little bit more sympathetic. Ask, why am I doing these things? How come am I doing, how come, and this and that. Like, it's a longer path to get to the end, but it's supposed to like create this whole nuance of helping you get to from point A all the way to point Z in a long form, and training your brain to kind of bring yourself down. The jackal route is not that. The jackal route goes straight from point A to Z, back to A again, and you go back to Z, and and it's clashing back and forth and saying fuck all the other letters, and that's what's going on. And like, I'm working on that with my therapist. I have a psychiatrist appointment here coming up soon. Then that we're going to talk about ADHD and this and that, and try to get my mind right. I'm out there just trying to help myself be a better person. I understand I have problems. I'm not perfect in any shape or form. I'm somebody that, when you admit the problem, I think that's when the problem itself is it's out there, and you address it. You just gotta not aggressively, but just put it out there, man. And I for the longest time, I had that mentality of like, yeah, I'm right, you're wrong, fuck off. Always, and even with the podcast stuff and everything like that. But now it's a little bit more loosey-goosey. I'm just having fun, and when I like doing this after the gym, because I got all this testosterone, if you want to call it that, all this energy, and I'm just like, oh yeah, what a rush, I'm feeling good. My like all these muscles are achy and sore, but it's a good achy and sore, and my boobies are like all perky and stuff like that. I could probably put a bra on, and you could probably be like, when you see that cleavage and stuff like that, but it just enjoy life. Live life, if you want to do something, just do it. Make those projects, have fun with those projects. That's the biggest key. Have fun. Like, make it fun, and people ask me like, oh, it's so hard. Yeah, it's hard, but once you get over that hump of it being hard and you just do it, it becomes natural. It just becomes natural in that sense of like, I could go anywhere. Like I'm doing right now. I can go anywhere, push record, bam, podcast, boom, done. Feel good. Beforehand, I would be like, what am I going to talk about? I'm going to write my notes here, and I'm going to talk about this and this and that. R. Kelly dropped an album from jail, but he didn't drop an album. Shit like that. But no, just having fun, breathing. And that's what we got to do. Just, all right? I love every single one of y'all. Much love, much respect. And like and subscribe. Share with your grandma. Share with your grandpa. Share with the bum down at Walmart. Give him a hug, too. Okay? Just give him a hug. Be like, it's going to be okay, bruh. And give him a couple dollars. Get him a cheeseburger, too, while you're at it. Get him a vegan cheeseburger from Java Juice if you're ever up here in Flagstaff. Okay? And he'd probably like, I don't want that shit. I was like, well, I'll take this shit. I offered it. I'll buy you a real cheeseburger, though, because I want to make sure you eat. And remember, get to that level. Level 17 platypus status. Level 17 platypus status, baby. Yeah, KB the Sexy Ninja. And remember, stay sexy, ninjas. Whoop, whoop!
Welcome to the wicked shit.